The Battle of Alberta, we constantly hear it's not the same as it was, but then again, how could it be with the way the game has evolved? We'll discuss that with our Battle of Alberta historians, Craig MacTavish and Paul Coffey, who lived it in the 80s. Louis did in the 90s, by which time some of the air had gone out of it. But
the dark years.
Yeah, but you did your best to keep it inflated. I think you had Sandy McCarthy on your dance card at least 4 times.
You're going to show me getting beat up by Sandy again, aren't you?
Continuing early in this one.
Yeah, he was a nightmare for me, I'm not going to lie.
Rocky Balboa went to the southpaw stance for a while.
Okay, good enough. Tonight was the final installment of this year's Battle of Alberta, which unfortunately was only 3 games long. I'm interested, Paul and Craig, on your expectations for games these days between Calgary and Edmonton versus what you had to prepare for back in the 80s and early 90s.
Well, yeah, it's a much different era, with the exception of Corey Perry. That is, he was quick to embrace the Battle of Alberta tonight, so good for Corey. But yeah, it's a back in those days. I heard Kevin. I was talking to Kevin Lowe earlier today, and he was speaking about fans will say you must have really enjoyed the Battle of Alberta, and Kevin said no, I hated it because they challenged every bit of your manhood in those games. And I remember back in Calgary, most of the crazy meetings we all had over the course of our career here in Edmonton, the crazy team meetings were always in Calgary for whatever reason. But no, it was, we were always best when we challenged one another. When Calgary was good, it made us better. We were just a little bit better than Calgary back in those days, but we made them better, and they had plenty of toughness. Paul?
Well, for one thing, I'm surprised Kevin would say that, because that's when he played his best hockey, when his feet were to the fire, so to speak. But I'm so long in the tooth, I played back in the Corral before the Saddle Dome was there, a 7,000 seat arena, and I just remember warm-up skating around looking at these guys, and Mess would come into the dressing room and say, they got these guys from the Penal League. Where'd these guys up there? But I mean, as Mac alluded to, I'll go short here, first period be fight night, and then we'd end up beating them 7 or 8-1. And then when Cliff came along and Bob Johnson came along, Terry Chris came along, they started getting really good hockey players. It turned out to be even better.
Let's look at your Battle of Alberta credentials, starting with you, Paul. Louis.
Yeah, obviously you can see it was your offensive abilities that dominated your portion of the series. You can see 70 points in 51 games, another 21 in the playoffs in 19 games. Coff, I mean, one of the most offensive defensemen ever to play the game. But there was one time you dropped the gloves back in '82. Do you remember that one?
I do. That's when Mel Bridgman was going to take Mess on, and I said, I got him, Mel. Or I got him, Mess. And Bridgman hit me with so many lefts, I was begging for a right.
He was a bad choice there.
Yeah,
he was one tough hombre.
All right, Craig, you saw the Battle of Alberta from a player's and coach's perspective as we look at your credentials. The latter takes us to January of '02. Oilers in Calgary battling for a playoff spot, and the Flames were leading that game 4-0 in the first period. And you take it from there.
It never gets old.
No.
Harvey the Hound. I remember running into Ken King in the concourse in Calgary, and he said, Mac, I'll give you 10 grand right now to walk around the concourse with Harvey the Hound. I don't think so, Ken. No, that was a wild phenomenon. I remember post-game, and the great writer here, Terry Jones, he didn't miss much, but after the game, he didn't catch wind of any of that had happened, and he was kind of a little bit incredulous on why I was taking the lot, because I came in and Brian Ross showed me the video right after the game, and it was pretty funny. And Terry Jones was going, geez, you're surprisingly not that upset, because, well, it was, he missed that one, Terry, and he didn't miss too many.
The early 2000s, the battle was nothing like it was in the 80s, yet the extraction of Harvey the Hound's tongue seems to make the list of the top moments of the Battle of Alberta consistently. There were players who helped define the Battle of Alberta in the 80s, and one of those, Paul, was Dave Semenko. Your take on how Dave Semenko influenced the Battle of Alberta?
Well, he took on all comers. I mean, Semenko was the heavyweight champion of the league, and Had the guys coming up from the Western League. You see Tim Hunter there. That was his dance card most nights. Donnie Jackson was with Peplinski. McClellan had Baxter. But Semenko was a very, very, very important part of our team, and he made it very safe to go in and play in every rink in the league.
A guy like that made everybody a little bit taller in the battle, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Louis, your career, well, I should say Semenko's career was over before yours started, but yet I'm sure that you watched tapes of his fight.
Absolutely. I had him as an assistant coach, too, in Edmonton when I first got to Edmonton, so I got to spend a lot of time with Dave. And, one of the salt-of-the-earth guys, and I heard all the stories from you, Mac. I heard all the stories from Bucky and all the guys that I played with in Edmonton about how important he was. But I also saw how, Coff, how you treated him, how Gretz treated him when he came into town. And when they saw Big Dave Semenko, they just, they would go right to him, and they were just so fond to see him again. And that just goes to show you how important he was to everybody on the team.
Unbelievable person. Yeah, he could diffuse any type of tension. He didn't like a lot of tension, and poor Tim Hunter took the brunt of a lot of that. But one quick story I've heard about Dave Semenko, and I asked Tim Hunter about this, and he didn't deny it. But Dave started the game one time with Wayne and Yari, and Dave was Gretz did what he did and saucered one over to Semenk, and Semenk put it in the net, and they went back to center ice, and the puck drops. Semenk drops his gloves, and he does a pretty good job on Tim Hunter. And they get to the penalty box, and Tim Hunter's looking at Dave Semenko like, incredulously. And Dave goes, "What?" He said, "What'd you do that for, Sammy?" And Tim Hunter says, Dave goes, "Well, you said, Sammy, let's go." And Tim says, "No, I said, Sammy, nice goal." Oh, sorry.
Craig, you may already have answered this, but Browski18 wants to know, and we'll get you to answer this, Paul, who was the biggest pain in the ass on the Flames to play against?
Oh, for me, it was Joel Otto.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they up the middle, Peplinski, Otto, Neuendijk. But Joel Otto, I used to headbutt him, which doesn't sound bad unless you weren't wearing a helmet.
Which you weren't.
Joel was a fierce competitor, too.
Your pick, Paul.
Lanny McDonald. Not only a great hockey player, could score, finished every check, understood the game. For a guy like me, he knew what I was doing when I had the puck, and he was tough to play against.
So there are any number of scraps that we could pick to underline how vicious the Battle of Alberta was in the 80s, but we're going to go with this one. Kevin McClellan versus Tim Hunter. They didn't even have to be standing up to get at it. This is why the games back then took about 4 hours to play. Leads to this question. Jim Peplinski of the Flames once said to me, "The reality is we weren't trying to do anything to them that they weren't trying to do to us, which was kill each other." Did it feel that way?
I will tell you a funny Kevin McClellan and Tim Hunter story. They were fighting in front of our bench, and Mac's a lefty, and they're going at it, and Hunt's hit him with one, and you could just hear his nose go like that. Mac looked at our bench and said, "Didn't hurt." as he kept throwing them, it was crazy.
Well, let's look at this. This is vintage Mark Messier. Rick Natras felt the full power of the forearm shiv.
That's a vicious elbow.
That didn't even get a penalty. Today it would probably get about 10 games, right?
If not more.
Yeah.
Well, Mess to this day probably thinks he didn't deserve a penalty.
So my question to you guys is, and you played with Mess, obviously one of the greatest leaders ever to play the game. How did he do that and not get jumped every game? Like, how did he get away with it? Most people, if they elbow someone like that?
Because you could throw a hit back then or do something. You didn't have to fight the whole team. That's the one thing in today's game I can't stand. You throw a good hit out there, you got to fight somebody. Even that was
call that a good hit?
No, but okay.
Okay, well, back
Rick
in the 80s,
Nash,
it was. It was.
I will tell you one thing about Glenn Sather. You went after Mark, Wayne, whatever, myself, Yari. We went after their best players. We did not go after their tough guys.
All right, so the Battle of Alberta as it stands now, every once in a while, and it did tonight, looks like when the battle has waned, there is some spark again. There'd be flashes of the old days. February 1st, 2020, a line brawl punctuated by a goalie fight, and we'll let Jack Michaels state the case.
And Matthew Tkachuk and Ethan Bear are going to drop the gloves. Bear belts him with the right hand. Tkachuk counters with a straight right. Right hook, Ethan Bear. Left jab, Matthew Tkachuk. And now we're going to have a goalie fight. Bear throws the right hand. Here comes Cam Talbot and Mike Smith. They're going to go at center ice. Talbot short with the right hand. Smith, 3 clubbing right hands. Right hand Talbot. Big right-handed shot from Mike Smith. This is the Battle of Alberta we've been waiting for 3 decades.
Am I wrong, or was everybody standing up there? Nobody left the building.
No one left the building.
Nobody left the building. It was all good.
Did that take either of you back to the 80s and early 90s?
I didn't see any goalies fight back then, but that was nice to watch.
2 really good guys and 1 pretty good fighter. Not named Cam.
Yeah.
You know, rivalries are built in part on geography, but in larger part on playoffs. From 83 to 90, it was either the Edmonton Oilers or the Calgary Flames who went to the Stanley Cup final. But the fact is, the Edmonton-Calgary second-round matchup in 3 years ago was the first playoff meeting between these 2 teams in 31 years. So gone are the days of the Smythe division when you played each other 8 times, and the Oilers and the Flames reigned supreme. The playoff system is completely different now. Is this not one of the biggest reasons for the changing face of the Battle of Alberta?
I think we should play each other more.
Yeah, 3 times this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not nearly enough.
There's not enough. There's not enough grudging to be built up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for the schedulers. If you want to see every team and every player in your building, it's hard to get 5 or 6 games against the Flames. But unbalanced schedule could probably accommodate that. But we saw another great game tonight. It was an awesome Battle of Alberta tonight.
Well, it was great because we won.
Exactly.
If we won, I would think it was the most boring game.
As a coach, did you think Leon made much of a difference in there tonight?
Yeah, I told him he might have a career. Might be okay. And,
might be able to be. Might have accounted for 80% of our chances.
Yeah, Leon seems to have this hockey thing figured out. Paul Coffey, Craig MacTavish with a wonderful walk down memory lane on After Hours. In appropriately the setting of the Oilers Hall of Fame room. Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals tonight, his 50th and 51st, and we'll return to Rogers Place in Edmonton in a moment.